Welcome back, anglers and friends. We're going to talk about the smallmouth bass today. Just so you know, Meet the Fish videos are short informational videos designed for new anglers or for anglers new to fishing that specific fish. So we're talking about the smallmouth bass today. And if you are a seasoned smallmouth bass angler or just bass angler in general, you probably know just as much or more than I do about this fish. Not likely much new here to learn. This is going to be basic information on fishing for smallmouth bass. Smallmouth bass, aka smallies, are well known, well liked for their spunky fight and aggressive bite. Compared to its cousin, the largemouth, the smallmouth prefer cooler, running water and rocks, especially rivers and streams. However, the fish does dwell in deep, clear reservoirs, especially in the Midwest, West, and Northwestern United States. They don't grow as fast or as big as the largemouth bass, so sometimes they are ignored by tournament anglers, but for non-competitive sport fishermen, they are a favorite. Because they are so fun to catch, because they take so long to grow big, and because their flesh isn't especially flavorful, most anglers prefer the catch and release of smallmouth. The average smallmouth lives 5 to 7 years, but they can certainly live longer, even into their teens. Obviously, the older the fish is, the more likely they'll grow to trophy size. Most smallies caught are small, between 10 and 13 inches, and usually 1 to 2 pounds. Smallies over 18 inches are considered trophy by many anglers, and I would say anything over 21 inches is the fish of a lifetime. I believe the world record smallmouth is still the fish caught in the 50s out of Dale Hollow in Tennessee, weighing almost 12 pounds and was right at 27 inches. Okay, so enough background information. Let's get to the good stuff. What do smallmouth bass eat? Where do you find them? How can you catch them? What lures and techniques work best? Smallmouth are predators, often one of the chief predators in the body of water you're fishing. They will eat whatever prey is available at the time: bugs, crawdads, smaller fish like minnows, leeches, hellgrammites, small panfish, and if they're actively feeding, anything they can fit in their mouth. As their name indicates, their mouth is slightly smaller than the largemouth bass, but it's not a tiny mouth. It's no smaller than other true bass species. And what they lack in stuffing capacity in their mouth, they make up for in aggression. Now, in rivers and streams, smallies hide in current breaks, behind rocks or logs, or in eddies to ambush prey as it drifts downstream towards them. In lakes and reservoirs, they tend to be a bit more nomadic, following the bait fish, or searching the shallows for crawdads. Any of the above mentioned prey are great live bait, emphasis on live. Smallmouth are seldom scavengers, but generally speaking, if you find the prey fish, you'll find the smallmouth. Smallmouth bass can be caught on a variety of artificial lures. They're most active in water temperatures between 65 and 75 degrees. During those peak temperatures, they love topwater baits, especially in low light conditions. My personal favorite is the Heddon Tiny Torpedo, but Whopper Ploppers, Rebel Poppars, and even Zara Spooks will catch them when they're biting on that surface. And strikes can be vicious and repetitive when missed. Leave the bait in the water after a missed strike. Crawdad imitating crankbaits are very popular. But don't overlook minnow lures or crankbaits that imitate the local bait fish. Like largemouth, they are attracted to rattles and scent, so don't be afraid to go loud and bold, particularly in stained water. Some of my favorites are lipless crankbaits or shallow diving crankbaits. There's anecdotal evidence that smallies like bright colored lures sometimes. In ultra clear water, that's probably a no-no. Many anglers, especially up north, have consistent success with soft plastic baits like Ned rigs and shaky heads, Texas rig tubes, And apparently they love the gobies up there. So in clear lakes, any kind of finesse baits like that imitate natural prey are particularly useful because smallmouth see well and can get spooked in clear water. Finesse rigs are especially good for cold water seasons. One of my favorite river baits for smallmouth and warmer water is inline spinners like meps, aglias, or rooster tails. Casting diagonally upstream and pulling it downstream high in the water column can be lights out for smallies, but you gotta watch the current so you don't get snagged. If that doesn't work, curly tail grubs of various sizes with light jig heads are a good follow-up. They'll hit traditional safety pin style spinnerbaits too though. One of the reasons that smallmouth are loved is that they are more eager biters than other kinds of fish, say walleye or finicky trout, that often share the same waters. As far as tackle is concerned, spinning tackle with medium to medium heavy rod and 8-pound test line of your choice is sufficient, but it's always good to have your drag set in case you hook into a bigger fish. You typically don't have to horse them out of cover, especially in lakes, so lighter line is good, especially for the finesse baits like the Ned rig. If you like braid, tip it with a fluorocarbon leader to make the line invisible in clearer water. If you have never targeted smallmouth, you are in for a real treat. Even average fish are fun to catch, especially on light tackle. Get out there and catch you some smallmouth bass. Tight lines.